Truman Lake Fishing Report. It is August 27th. This is brought to you by M&S Electric and Mark Huey's Guide Service at Truman Lake. My name's Ryan. Of course, we have Mark here with us to break down the fishing and see what they're up to. Mark, how you doing?
Great, buddy. How are you?
Doing well. I'm excited to hear about what the fish have been doing. The weather is somewhat cooling off. I'm sure your mornings are a little more enjoyable. And I'm curious to see how those new baits are doing that you've been showing here on the Fishing Report.
Yep, yep.
Cool.
The crappie bite has been pretty good. Um, Certain days are a little finicky, other days really good. Sometimes both in the same day.
Yeah.
Um, just just got to get on the you got to get on the right fish that want to eat that day. Um, I've been fishing still the same. I did look at some deeper water, um, fish on it. Some of the deeper stuff, down 8 to 10 foot deep, and have been throwing the a few of them. Been throwing some of the urchin baits, the uh, the slot limit gray
Yep.
has been pretty effective, and the uh, living the dream, the monkey milk. Um, those two have both been working pretty decent. I haven't thrown them a lot. I haven't thrown them at all in the groups of fish. I've been using them more targeting when there's a single big fish
Okay.
on
Yeah.
the side of a tree. Um, when we get into the groups of them, and I couldn't tell you why I'm not throwing them in the groups, but other than a minnow works so good in the groups. You still got to fish through. Certain days we're fishing through quite a few little ones. Other days you get on the same group of fish and keeper after keeper bites.
Yeah.
Uh, Other days you fish through every minnow you got to get a limit of keepers. But all in all, the bite's been pretty good. Um, just like I say, certain days it's finicky. Um, and if you're on finicky fish, I've been you know, moving to find some active fish. The other day we started out.
When you say you're moving, will you take are you saying you're moving 5 minutes up the lake? Or are you taking a 20, 30 minute ride to get in completely different water?
It all depends. If I'm in an area that there's, um, I've kind of got a little milk run that I've been doing, um, and I've been hitting some of those same spots. The other day we went and tried some totally different stuff. Caught some bigger fish. Um, just a lot more finicky. I mean, you
Yeah.
really had to work them to get them to bite. So we made a 6 7 mile run, which I mean really isn't on Truman. That's really not that
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
I mean, a 40 mile run, going from Bucksall to the dam, and that's only a 22 mile run, but go from Bucksall to the dam, that's a pretty good run. And I
Yeah.
haven't I haven't been moving anything like that. I mean, but there's been some areas that we've been checking. There's conservation brush piles.
Mhm.
Um, we fished one area the other day that had two or three of them right in a row. They're new piles that they put in about a year ago, um, loaded with fish, uh, lots of little fish, and tons and tons of little channel cat. From 4 to 8 inch long channel cat. Just, I mean, you had to be super quick to get them caught because they're quick little eaters. I
Yeah.
mean, they can steal a minnow quicker than you can get the hook set. But lots of fish in them. I think the fall is, we're still catching lots of fish that are just the thickness of a piece of paper too short. You know, they're it ought to be a good fall. There ought to be a lot of not big fish, but legal fish. this fall and into next spring, it ought to be really good.
Okay. Well, you mentioned little catfish. Have you tried the catfish bite at all?
The catfish bite's decent. Still getting better day by day. The dragon baits, pulling baits, planer boards, is probably, if there's, and there hasn't been a whole lot of wind here lately. If you get a day that the wind, if we get 2 or 3 days that the wind's blown, you can go anchor fish. Especially if it's blown out of the same direction for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Not much wind. I'd definitely be pulling planer boards.
Okay.
Or drifting baits, whatever you're able to do. But the catfish bite it's getting better day by day. There's been some I've seen on Facebook. There's been some good ones caught, but lots of good eater fish. So I think it's just going to keep getting better as we get into transition into fall. The catfish bite it'll continue to get better until it gets cold, and then it'll get phenomenal.
Okay. Cool. Well, there we go. Let's before we wrap up for the day, let's talk a little bit about your availability. If somebody's want to book a trip for this year, do we have anything else in the fall? Getting pretty full.
I've got a handful of days left in September. I've got some afternoons left in October, November, and I've still got some mornings, and I think I've got 2 or 3 weekend days left in December.
Okay.
And I have some days during the week in December as well. But the weekend days, I think I've got two or three left in December. So for the people that work Monday through Friday, we've still got an option to get you out on the weekend.
There you go. They'll fill up though. So if you're thinking about it, just go ahead and give Mark a call, get on the calendar, get things lined up. And you got anything else for us?
I'm good, buddy.
All right. We'll talk to y'all next time.